I've had the ability to keep a good relationship with any of the employees. They all have their position. We all stay very busy and we treat them very well. They all have benefits and all that kind of stuff. But I've also inspired people. When I'm having a conversation with a group of people and I have my crew back there, it's like going, hey, you know, set your goals high, dream, go start a business, everything else. And I realize all my employees are behind me. It's like, maybe I should stop having these inspirational talks with my employees around.
For 11 seasons, Bitchin Rides gave the world an unfiltered look inside one of America's most respected custom car shops. No stage drama, no manufactured deadlines, just genuine craftsmanship captured on camera. But behind that authenticity, a storm was quietly building, one made up of corporate mergers, legal battles, and a fundamental clash between art and commerce. This is the real story of how Bitchin Rides ended, and why Dave Kindig walked away with his integrity intact. To understand what was lost when Bitchin Rides went off the air, you have to go back to where it all began. A freezing garage in Salt Lake City, Utah in 1999. Dave Kindig didn't come from money. He dropped out of high school, grew up with a single mother, and taught himself the fundamentals of custom fabrication by tinkering with whatever he could get his hands on, including a beat-up 1977 Toyota Celica GT. What he lacked in formal training, he made up for in obsession. Every panel, every paint line, every detail was studied and refined until it was right. When Dave and his wife Charity founded Kindig Design out of their family garage, they had virtually no startup capital. Utah winters are brutal, and the shop had no heating. The couple worked at an old plastic folding table, sketching designs by hand. Dave handled fabrication, graphic design, and paint, often doing all three in the same day, while Charity managed the books and kept the business from collapsing under the weight of monthly rent. That scrappy foundation produced something remarkable. As Kindig's reputation grew, so did the operation. The shop eventually expanded to 27,000 square feet. Dave secured a patent for a flush, handleless door design that became a signature of his builds. He launched the modern classic paint line, and the quality of his work began attracting clients willing to pay upward of $500,000 for a single vehicle, not because of television exposure, but because word had spread among serious collectors that Kindig built things differently. But growth also attracted the wrong kind of attention. Early in the shop's history, a group of financially powerful partners moved to take control of Kindig Design, aiming to push Dave out and transform the operation into a high-volume Mopar restoration assembly line. They wanted the name and the talent, without the soul. It was the most dangerous moment of Dave's career, and it nearly cost him everything he'd built. Charity proved decisive. Together, they fought back, legally and financially, and with support from Charity's family, Dave bought out the hostile partners and reclaimed full ownership. The experience left a mark. From that point forward, Dave ran Kindig on his own terms, and he protected it fiercely. In 2014, producers from the Velocity Network, later rebranded as Motor Trend, came to Salt Lake City. The shop was in the middle of restoring one of 12 surviving GM Futurliners, massive parade vehicles from General Motors' mid-century Parade of Progress tour. The scope of the project, and the precision required to bring one of these machines back to life, made for compelling television. But what interested the producers more than the cars was the culture of the shop itself. Dave agreed to let cameras in, on one condition. There would be no scripted conflict. No artificial deadlines. No reenacted scenes for better camera angles. The crew would function as observers, documenting the work as it actually happened, at the pace it actually happened. Fixer Productions, the production company behind the show, agreed, and the partnership held for over a decade. What followed was 11 seasons of television that stood apart from most automotive reality programming. Clients were real. Budgets were real. The stress of a complex build playing out under public scrutiny was real. The production crew became so embedded in the shop's daily rhythm that filming ceased to feel like an imposition. They understood the difference between a good weld day and a bad one. They knew when to stay out of the way. The show made Dave Kindig a known name in the custom car world, but the shop's reputation had already been earned independently. Bitchin Rides amplified what Kindig had spent years building. It didn't create it. Fame brought scrutiny, and scrutiny brought lawsuits. The first major legal challenge came in 2014, when Kindigit filed suit against a Michigan-based company called Creative Controls over the patented flush door handle design Dave had developed and registered. The case dragged on for 3 years. Legal fees climbed into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The case eventually resolved in Kindigit's favor, but the toll, financial and personal, was significant. Dave was spending time in depositions and courtrooms when he would rather have been on the shop floor. A more damaging crisis arrived in 2022, when a group of more than 30 clients filed a class action lawsuit against Kindigit Design over a stalled 1974 Dodge Charger restoration project. The plaintiffs, a group of chiropractors who had pooled resources, alleged they had collectively paid $230,000 in deposits and received little more than a bare chassis after years of waiting. Their central claim was pointed. They believed television production obligations had pushed their project to the back of the line, with shop resources redirected toward vehicles destined for the show rather than for paying civilian clients. Additional complaints surfaced in the same period. One Camaro owner reported waiting more than 3 years for bodywork that had never been fully completed. Taken together, the cases painted a picture that clashed sharply with the seamless, triumphant builds audiences saw on screen. Dave addressed the pressure publicly, acknowledging the difficulty of running a high-end custom shop under constant media scrutiny. "People see the final result on television," he said, "but few understand the enormous amount of work and the legal hurdles we fight every day to protect the Kindigit name." Whether the delays stemmed from television obligations, the inherent complexity of bespoke fabrication, or some combination of both, the lawsuits exposed the tension at the core of the operation. The shop was simultaneously a business, an art studio, and a television set, and those three things don't always want the same things at the same time. While the legal issues ground on, a far larger disruption was taking shape at the top of the media industry. In 2022, the merger of Warner Media and Discovery created Warner Bros. Discovery, a new entertainment conglomerate with a mandate to consolidate its holdings and fund the growth of its Max streaming platform. The review that followed was systematic and unsentimental. Every network property was assessed against metrics of reach, scalability, and revenue potential. Motor Trend Network, home to Bitchin rides, had a loyal audience, but loyal audiences for specialty programming don't always survive the arithmetic of a corporate restructuring. In November 2024, Dave Kindig announced on Instagram that Season 11 would be the final season of Bitchin rides. The timing was striking. Just before the announcement, Kindigit had won the prestigious Riddler Award at the Detroit Autorama for a build called the 12 Air, a project that had taken 4.5 years to complete and represented some of the finest custom fabrication work the shop had ever produced. The show was canceled at the precise moment it had reached the peak of its artistic credibility. Plans for a 12th season, which had already been in early development, were scrapped. The closure came without a transition plan, without notice, and without any apparent consideration for the production crew at Fixer Productions, people who had spent 11 years learning every corner of the Kindigit shop. Dave made no effort to hide his anger. He criticized the decision-making process directly, arguing that network executives had ended the show based on spreadsheet logic, without any first-hand understanding of what the program actually was or what it had taken to make it. Dave Kindig didn't slow down. If anything, the end of Bitchin rides freed him. Without television obligations shaping the shop's schedule, Kindigit pivoted toward a new flagship project, the CF1, a limited production model drawing on the proportions of the 1953 Corvette and rebuilt from the ground up with a full carbon fiber body, a roadster shop chassis, and a Lingenfelter LS7 engine. By the first half of 2026, orders for the CF1 had exceeded 27 units, proof that the brand carried genuine market weight independent of any network deal. The most provocative move came with the introduction of an electric variant of the CF1. Rated at 580 horsepower and generating instantaneous torque of 3,650 foot-pounds, it was a direct statement that a craftsman who built his reputation on internal combustion could engage seriously with what comes next. It drew criticism from traditionalists, which Dave appeared to welcome. To maintain a direct relationship with his audience, Dave launched Kindig All Access on YouTube, a channel where he controls the format, the pacing, and the content entirely. No executive notes. No seasonal arcs. Just the work, explained by the people doing it. The end of Bitchin' Rides was real, and it cost real people their livelihoods. But for Dave Kindig, it marked a return to something closer to what Kindig design was always meant to be. A shop where the car comes first, the client comes second, and the camera, if it's there at all, just tries to keep up.